out something hours. The sweat on my back's got my shirt soaked and sour. And oh, it's already gone. Second night's coming and I'm spinning back around. We're all caught up, can't hear or feel the sound. And oh, it's already gone. And here comes the feeling when you don't got nothing and all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hide long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, this life's too short to be worrying about you hurting for long. Oh, it's already gone. Got time but money's not something that's free. Seems the roll of the dice never rolls back to me. And oh, it's already gone. A bird in my hand, two cans in the other, start spinning around. Now here comes another, and oh, it's already gone. And here comes the feeling when you don't got nothing and all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hide long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, this life's too short to be worried about you hurting for long. Oh, it's already gone. And all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hide long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, this life's too short to be worried about you hurting for long. Oh, it's already gone. Already gone. It's already gone. Go.
What is up, Jags fans? Here we are on a Tuesday night. It is that time where we get to first meet Liam Coen and James Gladstone. I know they're kind of new to the organization still, but they took time to answer questions from the media. They talked at a press conference a couple days ago. Then they went straight to the combine and they started scouting players. And we got to get to see a little bit of a different side of them and them answer questions that maybe can show us what they're going to do with this team, with the young age that a lot of them are, with the unknowns with them never doing it. We got to kind of see a little bit in their philosophy. We get to kind of see what direction they're going to kind of go when it comes to scouting, when it comes to collaborative effect when they're picking players, the schemes and things of that nature. It was nice to kind of see them. And I can just say off the rip, I was very impressed with a lot of what they were saying. And so what I have for you tonight is I have loaded up some clips of some answers that they had from the media at the press conference and at the combine. So we're going to kind of take a look at some of the answers that they had. We're going to kind of talk about if these answers can kind of give us any look into what they're going to do in the future for the Jags. Some of them were kind of vague and not really answers. Some of them were really detailed, and we got to learn a lot about these guys. So I thought it was good. We're kind of getting to know our coaching staff here a little bit. So that was awesome to see. This is a fan show, so we try to hit every comment. I want to get your all's thoughts on, were you impressed with their answers? Did you take anything from the answers that they gave? Are you able to read between the lines on what they may do in the draft and what they may do in free agency with their scheme? What were your overall thoughts from kind of meeting these guys for the first time? Again, I came away pretty impressed, but I want to get your thoughts. So get in the comments, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Twitter. It's live on both, so you can get on there and get the comments in there. This is a fan show. Much like the Jaguars, this is a collaborative effort, and we talk about the Jags together. So get in here. Give me your thoughts. First one in the chat, D. Steiny says, go Jags. Nitro says, what's up? Not much. I kind of am through. I know I said this on the last couple shows. I'm kind of through my busy season. So now I get to kind of get off work a little bit earlier. I get to go to the gym at my normal time. It's just kind of nice. My mental health is in a great spot right now. And, when you're busy and your mental health is not great, again, just because of like life, sometimes it's hard to kind of keep a good perspective. But right now I'm doing pretty good. Things are looking pretty good in my life. So thank you, Nitro. I hope everything's good with you. Appreciate you asking. Sea Breacher, our first channel member, says, yo, what up, Sea Breacher? Kyle says, dub. That's right. Kevin says, Duval, made alive. That's right. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you being here. I love it. BT channel member says, Duval. I love it. Robert Atcher says, combine time. I love it. And Liam Coen did kind of talk a little bit about, and James Gladstone kind of talked a little bit about what they're looking for in players. They use the word intangibles a lot. You're going to hear that a lot. They're looking for the intangibles. So then they kind of pressed them on what the intangibles are, and they were like, we're not telling you, which I kind of like, but we'll see if it pays off with the draft. Jaggernaut says, what's up, guys and gals? Not much. That dude, Evan, channel member, says, stream coming in clutch for my drive home from work. Duval. I love it. Glad you're here. That dude, Evan, thanks for being a channel member. Preston Tim says, yo, didn't expect a stream tonight. What happened to the week off? I'm here for it. Yeah, so I thought about taking some time off, but like I said, I got off work a little early today. I got to get to the gym, had a great leg day. I did like a pull emphasis where like hamstrings and glutes and lower back was the emphasis. I did some deadlifts, some power cleans, some hamstring curls, some calf raises, and some Romanian deadlifts. So it was a good workout. I had the right amount of caffeine in my system, had a great post-workout shake. Great day. But I came home and I was like, you know what? Let's just kind of talk about the press conference. We are going to hit a dead season here. And I want to be honest with you guys. I'm a straight shooter with you guys. I always have been. Always will be. We are coming up on a bit of a dead season between like now, free agency, and the draft. So I may take a Tuesday off here or there. I'll probably try to keep doing Fridays just because I love talking to Travis. So as long as Travis will be here, I'll probably keep doing Friday nights. But I may dip in and out here, but don't judge me. Don't judge me. I'm working on something else with Travis. We're working on another show that does talk about sports, but it's not so much Jaguars, but it's also talking about real things, right? Politics, life lessons, things like that. We're ironing out the details, Travis and me. We'll get it figured out because I just love talking to Travis. I mean, that guy knows a lot. Me and him get along well. We have good camaraderie, much like James Gladstone and Liam Coen. Volkfang says 24/7 streams. Just keep it live, like Kai Cenat's like live, like subathon or whatever it was called. Duval Paul says, what's up, everybody? Pressure's got me hyped. D. Sign says, let's go. Jason Han. Hugh Hefner from Twitter says Gladstone is a dolphin. Fish. Don't know what that means. Antonio Tolentino says, what's up? D. Stein says, all about the trenches. I liked what Gladstone said. He sounded very articulate and well-versed. Gladstone has a normal voice. I know. I got a question from Jordan DeLugo. He asked a question in the press conference in our group chat. Someone brought up the fact that he has a normal voice. Dustin Hammond said, first time in the live chat. Love to do. Let's go, Dustin. Welcome for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. It's a lot of fun. I love it. 577 T-Rex says, would you swap with the Chiefs for Chris Jones? Unless you think Mason Graham could beat Chris Jones. No, I don't think I would. Travis says Jason's about to be swole. About to be. Glad. What is this? I'm missing this. Someone's got to fill me in on what this means. I got friend zone today, but you know what? It's all good because I got an hour of Jags. You know what? We're gonna get to the press conference here. I got the clips loaded up. Okay, but you guys know how it goes around here. All right, I got to instill a little bit of life advice. And Sea Breacher, it got friend zone today. Listen, I'm reading this book called Inner Excellence. It's the book that AJ Brown was reading on the sidelines of the game that went viral of him reading the book. I went and bought the book and read it. Haven't finished it, but am reading it. And they have two things in there that I think could apply to you. The first one is you never meet anybody who isn't supposed to cross your path in life to make you better. So yes, getting friend zone hurts. Trust me, trust me, getting friend zone hurts, but no one ever goes across your path that isn't supposed to and make you better. So being friend zoned probably wasn't going to work out anyways. And it's going to make you a better person. The second thing it talks about is that there's no failure in life. There's only lessons. So don't take this as a failure, Sea Breacher. Take it as a lesson. Maybe you got to be better in a certain area so that you don't get friend zones. Or maybe you need to be better at picking girls you pursue. Because obviously you're pursuing girls that aren't right for you. So whatever the lesson is, learn from it. Don't beat yourself up over it. What is beating yourself up over it going to do? Yes, you do have Jaguars United talking Jags, probably an hour, probably. The friend zone is where it's at, Sea Breacher. It's how I handcuff my wife before she. So Duval Dimes. Yeah, he's saying, listen, you can use the friend zone tactic. I'm glad. Listen, dude, Travis has got it going on. Travis knows what he's doing. He's got a great life. So I listen to Travis. We are the future of the NFL. Shark is a shark. Oh, okay. Gladstone's a shark. Okay. Preach, Jason. Thank you. LOL, Travis. All right, let's get to some of these clips here. Let's see here. I learned how to do this correctly so you guys can hear the audio. So let me just play his opening statement. Okay, this was at the press conference. This was James Gladstone's opening statement, and I thought it was really good. It's the longest clip I have, so hang with me. But it's his opening statement. It's when he's introduced by Shad Khan. It's a great clip.
Good morning. You know, it really is an honor to be with you all today as the general manager of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know, I do have to start first and foremost by thanking Shad, Tony, and the entire Khan family for believing in me, for entrusting me with such an incredible opportunity. You know, their passion for this city, this franchise, it's contagious. And I look forward to building something special with them. You know, as I look across this table, I also got to give a thanks to Tony Baselli for his leadership throughout this entire process, our football operations staff who have made it a seamless transition for my family. I got to give a thanks to Mark Lamping for his invaluable insights, and to Liam Coen. Liam, I can't wait to bring your vision for this football team to life, working with our coaching staff, our scouting staff, and our support staff to give the city of Jacksonville, its fans, and our partners around the world a team that they're proud to support. To my wife, Julie, to my daughter, Sabine, to my parents, Kim and Jean, to my siblings, Michelle and DeMarco, the rest of my family, my friends. Your presence, your support. I've never had to ride alone. You have elevated me to levels that I didn't know on my own I had the ability to reach. To the Los Angeles Rams, to everyone I worked with over the last 9 years, thank you. You know, I genuinely believe that this moment, me being seated on this stage, is not a reflection of anything that I've done on my own, but rather a collective effort. And I won't lose sight of it. To Les and Kara Sneed, you guys altered the trajectory of my life. Supporting you, learning from you, you know, that was an honor of a lifetime. And I'll look to carry that experience forward every day in this role. To the Jaguar fan base, I turn to you. With Liam's vision, with a disciplined approach, you know, we're you, a product that you all can be proud of. And we are so appreciative of your support. With that, game on.
Now, excellent public speaking. I taught a course in a high school course, a public speaking course. And one of the things they talk about is pathos. If you've heard of logos, ethos, and pathos for our higher level learners out there, pathos is playing on the emotions of your audience. Now, it can be genuine, but it's playing on the emotions of your audience. And that entire speech, I mean, that tugs at your heart. Him getting a little emotional, him getting choked up, talking about his family, talking about Liam Coen, talking about the Rams and Les Snead. How much more refreshing is that than what we went through with Trent Baalke? Absolutely amazing. Great. Just absolutely great. I loved it. A Sharpshooter says, who's older, James or Jason? I'm older by, I think, 6 months. I'm 6 months older than James Gladstone. Yes, I am. Nitro says louder. Unfortunately, I can't get any louder, so just crank it up and then crank it down when I start yapping. D Stein says, I like that he seems real and doesn't try to put on a front. That's so, like, that's kind of what I was talking about. It's so refreshing. He doesn't play this, I know more than you. I am smarter than you. Don't question me. I've been doing this for a long time. I've had success. He doesn't give off those vibes the way Trent Baalke does. Even Doug Peterson kind of gave off those vibes as well. He is just, like Cooper says, an A+ communicator, doing a great job. Now we got to see if he stays with it. I believe he will. I like him more and more. I hear him speak. I F with your vids, Paul. Keep it up. We need more Jags YouTubers. Is Duval Paul a Jags YouTuber? I did not know that. Let's see if we can search it up real quick. Duval Paul Duval. Paul Duval has got 47,000 subscribers. He explores the history of technology. I don't think that's him. If you send the link in here, I'll push you, Duval Paul. Richmond says, I'm so hype. All these clowns talking about his age, Twitter, etc., acting like you can't be a crappy GM if you're old. Let's try something new. Gladstone's refreshing boy genius. I love it. King David says, that game on did it for me. Duval. Yes, I did love that game on as well. The game on resonates with the whole fan base. Gave off coming for everything we're owed vibes. Easier voice to listen to than Trent's. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right, let's hit another one. This is from the Combine, and I like this. They asked him, like, who has the final say on these. This is Liam Coen. Who has the final say when you're making these picks? This is what Liam Coen says.
Even like hit my brain. That's what's crazy about the question is I get the question. We all do. But if that's what's driving us, we have no shot. We have no shot. Ego and agenda will not take place in this organization for us. It just won't. If we cannot make a decision, we are completely on opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to any decision. We've got to move on from that decision. How do we pivot? There's especially with player acquisition. There's so many players that we can go and move on to that maybe we're closer on, right? If we're completely on the opposite ends of the spectrum, we got to move on.
Liam.
So that kind of answers the question. I mean, and they've said this. It's going to be a collaborative approach to everything. It'll probably be some sort of vote. I was interested to see, for me, like how interested or how involved Tony Khan was going to be. And it was kind of confusing because they would reference Tony, and I wasn't sure if they were referencing Tony Baselli or Tony Khan, but then they kind of went on to reference Tony Khan as TK. So I think that's the differentiation between Tony Khan and Tony Baselli. And it doesn't seem like Tony Khan is going to be very involved. They even asked him about analytics. Let me see if I can find the I actually don't think I clipped the analytics question, but they basically said they're going to use both of them together for that. And here's James Gladstone at the press conference about the draft process and how they're going to do the draft.
I'll give you a 2-word answer.
Sure.
Pure collaboration.
Okay. And the draft process hasn't always been successful here. There's been some hits. There's been a few misses. Do you have, what is a figure in mind as far as the number of players that make an impact? I know you want all of them to make an impact, but is there a certain percentage that you're comfortable with that you really would hope would work out in this team?
Yeah, first off, I do think every team has their hits and misses. Nobody bats 1,000, but you absolutely go into a draft thinking that you will. And one of the things that, we talked about in the interview process, by default, Liam and I are aligned. We'll continue to get deeper alignment as we continue to grow and evolve together. But there will be disagreements, and we welcome that. And when there's ever a moment that we can't bridge the gap and find some version of common ground when it comes to evaluating a player, we will have players that we will align on, and we'll focus our attention there and move those others off to the side. Because what's important is not whether or not those go on to have success in my mind. It's that the ones that we add to our ecosystem are built to thrive in what we've constructed. And so that's really the intent, and really why I feel like we've had such success in Los Angeles over the most recent years, is because the people that we do bring in are built for our environment and really elevate it and themselves by being amongst it.
I love every answer this guy gives. I mean, perfect answer. He doesn't know these questions are coming. I mean, maybe he prepped and knew some of them were going to come and he could kind of plan, but he's not looking down at his notes, reading from his notes. He's giving a heartfelt answer, and I believe that is what they're going to do. Him and Liam Coen are aligned, and he welcomes disagreements. What great leadership. That's awesome leadership. You don't want yes men. You don't want people that's going to tell you yes to every single thing. Having welcoming disagreements is great. I love that. Duval Paul says, I can't wait to hear what you think about this combine presser. When I heard it, I was like, oh shoot, we're about to be an aggressive off season. I didn't see this interview. How freaking different is this regime, says Richmond Marooter. King David says, right. Real collaboration, not BS like Peterson and Balky. I want to jump on the game wagon, but I'm hesitant. Old years or disappointment. Callie Jag kind of echoes that sentiment by saying he's cautiously optimistic. We always feel like we won the offseason. That's true, but this does feel different. This feels a little different. With all the hires, this I feel like has the most hope. Think back to Doug Marrone, Urban Meyer, Doug Peterson. There was some hope there with Doug Peterson. I'm not going to lie, but this feels like a refreshing hope. That's the word that I keep coming back to, is refreshing. This is refreshing. And that's the feeling that I think is different than the past. I feel like something is rejuvenated. It's new. Like there's something where even if they don't come out of the gates on fire, I think most Jags fans are going to be okay because of the reputations that these young guys have as football minds. So I'm refreshed. It's a pretty new start, says Chris W. No more healthy scratch second-round draft picks due to the coaching holding a vendetta. That's a good point. First of all, Rajives, pretty sure I saw this guy in the McDonald's play place last year. What were you doing in the McDonald's play place last year? We may need to make a call to the local law enforcement if you're hanging around the McDonald's play place. Maybe that's the bigger question there. How do you feel about the analytics aspects of that Gladstone brings? He didn't give much about his analytics. He just kept coming back to that word intangibles. He just kept coming back to that word intangibles. And he got pressed about like what intangibles are. And he had a decent answer. Let me see. They asked him, what are intangibles? Like just straight up. And this is what he said.
I think if you were to start, even in your own mind, coming up with whatever skill sets on the field you would deem intangible, those are the things that I'm certainly talking about. And then even as a person off the field, what anybody in our mind, we're probably all going to point to very similar descriptors. That's really what I'm leaning into. And one thing that, I think many people talk about the idea of that being important to them. I really look forward to showing our staff, our players, and our fans that we're going to be disciplined in prioritizing it.
So this is the first time he gives like kind of a vague answer. And there's two reasons why I think he gave a vague answer there. Like he didn't answer the question on what intangibles are. The first reason, just obviously, he's maybe not trying to give away any secrets of who they're going to draft. The second reason may be intangibles may change from position to position. And that's fair. I mean, when you think about what an offensive lineman's intangibles are and a defensive back's intangibles are, they're going to be wildly different. But then he went on to double down on their off the field stuff. And he did say that everyone was going to know they're going to be on the same page. So like, I'm okay with that vague answer there. Because I think because of those two reasons I brought up is why he gave the vague answer. But I'm okay with that because as long as the intangibles aren't long arms and future developmental prospect that didn't do anything in college, I'm okay with that. Jordan Roberts says, never heard Jags brass talk like this. That's a very good point. Seabreacher says, man, this is refreshing. There's another world where Robert Saleh and Ethan Wall are in charge. That's a world I do not want to live in. Young man's world, says Chris W. I'm guessing our second round pick won't be sitting games. It does. Refreshing is definitely the word. No more retreads. I thought that word retreads was something else for a second. No more retreads. A full clean house. I think over the long haul, we're in a great place. Lots of optimism moving forward for sure. Looking for a new GM for the Jags, says Rajives. That's why he was in the McDonald's play plan. Okay, well, listen, you don't got to convince me. You got to convince a jury of your peers. You don't have to convince me. All right, let's see what else we got here. We got let's pivot over to Shad Khan a bit. Shad Khan was asked, are you worried about the youth of this front office, of this coaching staff? Like, are you worried about how young they are? That's what Shad Khan had to say.
I look at it really positively. I think we have great people and a great team of people, even though they might be in the position for the first time. I think collectively they're going to have great success. And, and I think one of the things, I think we're all aware that, they're new, but huge amount of, the potential to really grow into it. So, I mean, you're referring to the Peter Principle, right? So that is, we've talked about it. You want to be aware of it. I asked everyone, not only here, but our coaching staff, that are in that position for the first time, just to be aware of that concept. But look it up on the phone. But but I couldn't be more excited, frankly. I think the brain power, the bandwidth, the different experience, and really complementary. I mean, this is a team of football people, executives who are going to have success. No one is a perfect human being. And this isn't about, hey, I got X years of experience in something. A lot of times it turns out to be 1 year of experience X times over. I mean, this is, I just think the brain matter here is going to be great for the Jaguars.
So he basically says he's excited about the future. He's excited about them growing into the position. He's not worried about the youthfulness of this front office and this coaching staff and all of those things. He brought up the Peter principle and he said, look it up on your phone. So, that's what I did. The Peter principle is an HR, human resource philosophy that says just because you're good at one job doesn't mean that you're going to be good at your promotion job, right? So it says to be careful for that. Just because they're really good in one lane doesn't mean if you promote them, they'll be good in that lane. So Shad Khan is saying, I understand that exists, but I'm not worried about that with these guys. So it's refreshing to see. I mean, Shad Khan does not have a great track record of hiring people or keeping people, but he's never done this before. He's never gone an entire youth movement. He's never actually gone with people who have potential, like Gus Bradley, like maybe was a guy that had potential. But beyond that, he went with Doug Marrone. He went with Doug Peterson. He went with Urban Meyer. He went with Trent Baalke. He went with guys that had a history of being successful, but also had a history of not being successful. So this is the first time he's going off of pure potential. The first time he's saying, listen, these guys are like geniuses at their craft. And for someone who can identify geniuses in their craft who could handle a promotion, I would trust Shad Khan because of how successful he's been in business. Now, I get it. He hasn't been successful in football or in sports in general, but I don't care about his past with this because this is the direction that we needed to go. We needed to go this direction. It's refreshing for Jags fans to kind of have some hope and some optimism that these guys are considered to be the smartest at what they do. Even if they haven't done it, they're considered to be the smartest. So I'm good with it. Josh Lame says, so T-Mac with the first pick. I don't know what they're going to do. He does talk about like building the trenches, so I could see that happening, D-line or O-line there, but I don't know. Chef Borderboy says, yo, I guess that word retread would also fit in that post. Yeah, I think it could have. Gavin Baker says, Baalke's thing on draft day used to be scaling back in the draft. What do you think Gladstone's draft day will be like? I really would just be guessing. I don't know. I mean, we look in the past in LA, they didn't have a lot of first round picks. And then when their one first round pick they took Jared Verse and they traded back up into the second round and got Braden Fisk. So he was trenches heavy. Now, maybe he identified those two guys were going to be stellar players because they were. But I don't know. I don't want him to trade back. I know there's like a sentiment out there that he should trade back. But he talked about how we have the most picks in the next 2 years. Like, why trade back? You already have a bunch of picks. Go get the best guy there. Go get a game changer. Go get an all-pro. Go get a Pro Bowler at some position. I don't care what position it's at, but go get somebody. It's rare you get a top 5 pick. And we have needs. It's not like we had some substantial injury to our quarterback or our best player where like we just need to run it back with our roster with some depth pieces. Like we need an infusion of talent. And I think that 5th pick, you can get an infusion of talent, whether that's Travis Hunter, whether that's Tet McMillan, whether it's the D lineman from Michigan, whether it's the O lineman, like just go get talent. You can tell Shad is actually excited because he said